Welcome to the fifth installment of the new B.O.R.N Awakening series. It is here that the words B.O.R.N will be a representation of me planting the seeds of creative energy here in Olympia during my transition to kind of see, what direction this may take me. And I think the best way to describe this part of the series is from a scene in the new B.O.R.N Awakening film. The main character, James, gets kicked out of Catholic school late in his junior year. So now he's gonna take that energy that he has and apply it to public school, which is a totally different energy. And so with only 2 to 3 months of school remaining, he just kind of plays it cool, kind of gets a chance to kind of see who's who of what and kind of who belongs where. At the same time, he's fine-tuning his vision. So when he does return to school in his senior year, he's a little bit more prepared, a little bit more confident to find the right people to help see his vision through. Now, I can't help to kind of really feel that's where I'm at in my life right now, reflectively. Just like the main character, I moved and transitioned to a new kind of environment, going from a big city of Seattle to a small town of Olympia. And now I'm here, I'm trying to slowly but truly find my grounding, find my rooting, and eventually kind of take small steps out to kind of see who's who of what and kind of figure it out. At the same time, following this vision and making New B.O.R.N Awakening stronger and stronger and keep going with it. So by the time I am ready and feeling confident, I want to be able to kind of reach out to local people here to find the right people to kind of see this vision through. So this is my journey in kind of figuring out my roots here, my first time out and about and in the city, and kind of see where this leads. So thank you for joining me, and we'll go from there. Thank you. One of the major focuses of moving to Olympia is to open myself up as a creator, to better tell my story and to connect to a larger audience. Now, while doing my research on all the happenings here in Olympia, I came across the Thurston County's community television, where you could take these courses at a low price to better educate yourself as a creator, learning how to do production and this and that, allowing me to connect with other filmmakers, creators, producers here in Olympia and the surrounding areas. But it also gives me a chance to market, pitch, and promote my ideas, my visions to a larger audience. So all three criteria will be matched by attending the first orientation, which happened to be May 6, 2017. And after the completion, I'll be able to take the variety of classes that are offered here to, again, better educate myself, to better pitch and promote my ideas and concepts, and again, to connect with like-minded folks. So here we go. I'm going to give it a chance today, and then I'll return back with the results and hopefully feel good and revived and ready to go for the next stages. So yeah, here we go. All right, I have returned back from Thurston County's community television orientation. There was plenty of material to learn and grow from as a creator, as a producer, and finding new ways to, document my progression through a series that I create on the show. It could be from 5 minutes to 2 hours. So now it's time for me to kind of reevaluate what I'm going to do with New B.O.R.N Awakening and all my past series, and possibly kind of take these classes, educate myself, get better at production, hands-on, and that way I can turn around and start making my short little 1-hour films or half-hour films and showcase them on the channel, and again, market, pitch, and promote who I am and what I'm about to the people of Olympia and beyond that as well. So I think it'd be good for my project, as well as for me as a creator, and as well as a person connecting with other people here in the industry in Olympia. So here's my first stages, and I will continue to document my progression as I move forward here in Olympia. Thank you. Alright, so back in my Doors to Symbology series, I created a little short film, little series called Meditation with Morrison. It's where I basically scrambled up hours of interviews to create this non-linear conversation with Jim Morrison, where he became my metaphorical spirit guide, telling about his life and times with the Doors, behind the scenes information to his films Feast of Friends and Highway. And we talked about love, death, travel, and all the great possibilities, with him offering me his great advice moving forward.
Listen, man, you're getting the benefit of my grand Irish wit all over the place.
So, as proud as I am of creating that series and the concept and adding my little touch of honoring and tribute into the conversation, listening to it now, I do feel I kind of rushed it on a lot of levels. So, time passed and, Love, Death, Travel morphed into New B.O.R.N Awakening, and so New B.O.R.N Awakening series came about, and that became my main focus, the switch of energy. So once I began my New B.O.R.N Awakening series, I just had gotten word that Northwest Film Forum's local siting was accepting applications for films. We're accepting films for their film festival. So I said, all right, this is it. I had some great history with them in the past, and this is be my way of kind of finally doing it. I have enough material. Let's do it. And I decided I'm going to bring back Meditation with Morrison, but give it a new B.O.R.N Awakening feel, give it a new energy, and focus it more on my history, my vision that I received, and of course my tribute that I'm continuing to fulfill. And also, again, receiving the great advice from Jen and everything, blending it all together to tell a modernized story of my New B.O.R.N Awakening series. So I recreated the conversations, everything was ready to go, and all I need to do now is get my tapes, put on my camera, put on my hard drive, and let's edit this. Well, it just happened to be that my camera, after 10, 11 years, decided to call it quits. And so I had to kind of basically scratch that whole idea, and definitely put this project, this idea, this concept, putting this short film together and put it on the back burner. And so here I am moving forward, and I'm finally on the fifth chapter of the New B.O.R.N Awakening series, and I'm here in Olympia, and part of my goal is to plant the seeds of creative energy to kind of see where I can, get a chance to fine-tune my vision. And so after attending the Thurston County orientation, I found out that there are actually a tape deck where you can put your old tapes and transfer them to your hard drive, and then you can begin the editing process. So after thinking about it, as much as I want to get my own show going, I think the first thing I would like to do is get all those tapes that I need from the Doors to Symbology and transfer them to my external hard drive and complete the script. So my goal is to do my homework for the next chapter, number 6. So that way, when that time comes, I'm that much more prepared to complete this short film. Right now, I'm going to contact Thurston County Community Television, find the right people to help me answer my question to how do I go about making this thing happen, and we'll take it from there. And hopefully, before you know it, I'll go down there and learn how to use the tape deck and put all my information onto my external hard drive and begin the process of moving forward when the time is right. So hope you enjoy me. Thank you. So that person never got back to me with that email, which is totally fine. Allowed me to focus my energy on other aspects of the project, to where I got right about a month later to where I'm at right now, and I decided to go back to Thurston County Television, this time with a purpose. I'm gonna buy my membership, my yearly membership, which allows me to use their facilities, which I need to use their tape deck so I can put on my tapes, put on my external hard drive, take it home, edit, and make my short film that I want to create, that new revamped Meditation with Morrison. But at the same time, it allows me to create little kind of short films and creatively retell the story of my Doors part of my series. Kind of blend it with my New B.O.R.N Awakening a little bit, and let that be my first thing that I have for the Thurston County, television show that I maybe I'll put together. So, kind of win-win. And so, after I learned all the things I needed to learn about what it was going to take, I decided I'm just going to let it go, save my material, and send all that information to my future self. So when I do get there, I'll be prepared. Though for now, let it go. But I do hope you join me in seeing it off in the next part of the series, the Awake part of the series. So thanks. Go. So before I get into anything creative here in Olympia, the first thing I need to do is find work, find a little grounding, a little stability. And once I have that, it'll give me a little bit more time and freedom to kind of enter into the creative world here in Olympia. With that said, I was looking for jobs and looking for companies one day and kind of thinking, would it be a great place to work, and there's all these different kind of, categories of jobs, and I kind of just happened to look over to the film production and, film production to art to photography kind of section. So I clicked on that. I saw an array of different people, production companies that they're doing here in Olympia, so I kind of clicked on them, and there's one in there that really spoke to me, that really was like, I need to make contact with this person, and because there's a lot of similarities between, who he is and what he's creating with who I am and New B.O.R.N Awakening. There's two things to consider New B.O.R.N Awakening. One is that there's a strong Native American presence in the story. And also in the story, the main guide, the grandfather who guides his young grandson to where he needs to be, a part of his life was spent with Native American tribes, and he learned from them, grew from them, was honored by them, and so he spent a quality time with them. And this gentleman, again, older gentleman, who's been working with the tribes for a long period of time, there's a lot of similarities, and not only that, but he also is a filmmaker. And the two films that I saw were also very clear to me that there's a lot of similarities with the two stories. And in these two stories, there's two young men with their own coming-of-age story. Very different, but when you blend them together, there were very similar comparisons to the main character in New B.O.R.N Awakening. So I decided, okay, I'm going to write to him and just kind of, give him praise, but also tell him about this connection. And I'd really like to maybe talk with him. And he wrote back and we kind of praise about who I am and my ambition. And normally he doesn't really work outside of the tribes, but he's kind of intrigued by what I have to offer. And not to say that he would work with me, but at least he would talk with me and have a great conversation about what I'm trying to achieve. Maybe he can give me good advice and help me take me to the next level. But either way, I'm just grateful for this opportunity to even just talk with him. So I'm going to give him a call, set up a time, and he's all game for it. And for me, this feels good knowing that I'm right away connecting to something that I'm passionate about, where, as much as I tried in Seattle, it was a tough game. I just felt this resistance, but here it feels good naturally to kind of make this happen. So I'm going to make this call, and hopefully we can make a connection and have coffee and talk about the subject of New B.O.R.N Awakening. See where it leads. Go. All right, so now I'm going to call Steve, set up a time here in Olympia to meet up for coffee and have a talk about New B.O.R.N Awakening. All right, here we go. So I made contact with him to set up a time that we can meet up, and I'm glad that I did, because in return this guy was fantastic in listening to me, hearing my stories, and getting a chance to hear his stories. And then the time frame was kind of tight, but it allowed me to get the information that I needed to hear, that gave me resources, gave me things that he can help me out with as I proceed. So again, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to get a chance to talk with him, and him giving me feedback and allowing me to maybe see my progression grow. Hopefully this is the beginning of a new friendship. So I'm truly grateful for his time and energy, and I look forward to progressing in this arena and hopefully lead me to the path that lead me to New B.O.R.N Awakening and seeing the light of day on some level, some way. So cool, right on. All right, it is now October 29th, 2017, about 6 months deep into living in here in Olympia. As part of the R series, the goal is to kind of, to rewrite the script and get it a little bit more fine-tuned. In that case, I will turn around and try to find someone in the Native American community who'd be interested in reading the script and giving their honest feedback, thoughts, and opinions about, the direction of the script and where it's going. That way I can take that information and apply it to the next stages. Obviously, I don't have experience working with Native Americans or being part of that culture, per se, besides reading about them and studying them, but I having somebody else with that knowledge and that know-how, especially a storyteller or something like that, to read it and to get feedback, it would be huge for me. So part of the goal was to write to Steve and let him know and see if he'd be interested in reading it, and which I will down the road, I'm sure. But for now, some divine intervention kicked in, and I received an email from a Native American storyteller in Seattle that I had written 1 year and 5 months ago. But he happened to write me saying he just got the email and he'd be interested in reading the script at the exact same time that I'm, preparing to find someone who would be willing to do this. So when the teacher arrives, it's that time to take that road, So I'm going to send him a quick email, let him know I'm still interested, and we'll take off from there. Here we go. Alright, it's official. I have completed the 3rd draft of my new B.O.R.N Awakening series, and now I'm going to be preparing to send it off to the Native American storyteller who is awaiting it. So that's awesome for me. I'm feeling pretty good about it. But on the same token, I also, since I completed it, I decided to write to Steve Robinson, the producer, filmmaker, who's worked at Tribe for over 40 years. And I asked him if he'd be interested in reading it. I've gotten an email back from him, but I've yet to check it. So let's do that now. And by the time I'm done reading it, I'll either know that I'll be sending it to 2 people or just 1 person. So, all right, let's check it out. Let's see what Steve has to say, and I'll get my results as I kind of. Awesome. Yes. I'd be happy to read your script. It sounds very interesting, and getting together for coffee sounds fine as well. Hope all is well with you. Awesome. Yes. All right. That is excellent. Okay, that feels great. So it looks like at the end of the day, I'll be sending out 2 scripts. All right. So I send it off to him, and we are set. So before Symbology came to me as a film concept to what it is today, it originally started off as a business idea. This kind of offbeat theatrical coffee house that offers a range of different kind of arts, from the theatrical to films to authors of books, but basically all about just being community based and bringing people together in all kinds of formats. It's too long to go into, and I'll say that for another time. I decided to take an art management course to better understand the arts, how to run a business. And though I didn't complete that, nor did I create the business, I did, however, gain a great experience in volunteering. I just love being a part of that environment where you bring creative people together that are creating something for an audience to see, and then blending all that energy together, and just being a part of that was always a great experience for me. I did a variety of different kind of jobs: house manager, concessions, behind the scenes work, and in fact one time I went to apply for an behind the scenes kind of position, and I ended up auditioning, and I got a role of one of the main characters in this extravagant outdoor performance. So that felt pretty good, about being part of that, and I was really tapped in. But again, life kind of takes you in different directions at times, and I kind of took myself out of those elements, and now moving to Olympia, being a new place, new energy, I feel that this would be a good opportunity to reconnect to that energy, and not only to reconnect, but also maybe connect with the right people to help see my vision through, or at the same time continue my training and work on other people's stuff to learn about being part of a crew of a generation. There's 2 places that I've seen here, one that I would really like to put my energy into, and then one is Olympia Film Society, and that's a theater here in Olympia that it's run by volunteers and film lovers and film creators coming together, and again, it's a good place to learn new skills, but meet a lot of people, and overall just to connect. The other one is Olympia Film Collective, and that is more obviously hands-on experience, collaborating, working with people on a set to kind of learn those tricks of the trade. So I also saw that there was a few script writing kind of groups too, so that might be something I might look into and document my progressions if I go there and do that, is bring my script there and kind of tell them about it, and kind of document that progression as I move forward. So I'm looking forward to doing all this kind of fun stuff to kind of plant the seeds here in Olympia, Washington. All right, so it is now October the 8th, 2017, and today I will be heading to the Olympia Film Collective monthly meeting, and this is a good way for me to kind of introduce myself, get a chance to know people in Olympia that are filmmakers and creators and trying to do things, and allows me an opportunity to kind of see how I can maybe learn and grow and kind of become part of this collective, if that's a possibility, and see where it takes me, and see if maybe I can spread the word about what I'm doing, what I'm about, and make that connection. So let's see, here we go. Here we go. We got a monthly meeting in October, and at 1 o'clock today. It's about a half hour from now. So yeah, we're gonna get this party started and do this. All right, so I have returned from the annual or monthly meeting at the Olympia Film Collective, and it got me a chance to kind of put a name to faces, all the people I've kind of seen that's kind of been out there posting stuff and what they're doing, what they're about. I thought for me it'd be good time to introduce myself, let people know what I'm about, what I'm doing, and also get some resources to see who I can talk to in regards to projects or looking for people that, you know, do certain kind of jobs. And it was cool to kind of hear, you know, the meeting go around a table about what's kind of happening here in film, you know, world here in Olympia, and kind of see what projects are happening. People are interested in doing these kind of things here and there, and words are getting passed about, hey, this person's looking for this. So it was a good networking kind of way, what I experienced. You know, people just kind of have an agenda, what they want to talk about, and get things out there, and kind of spread the word of what people are doing and trying to help you out. So I admired that. We were around the table to kind of talk about what people are doing. Finally, they kind of looked at me and asked me in regards to if I'm working on anything, and I just kind of let it out what I was kind of doing, but I was kind of all over the place and just kind of like, you know, a little nervous. I could tell my voice was kind of cracking, like, you know, but because I'm not used to talking to a group of people about what I do and what I'm about. I'm used to talking to this camera myself, getting all out there, editing and watching myself, and, you know, but to talk to other people to get response back into to a big table was a little different. But my main character does it in the story, so, you know, gotta go through what my character goes through, I guess, getting into character. So all in all, a great success, and hopefully make some good connections and see what happens in the next stages. Excellent. All right. Cool. So it is complete. Thank you for joining me on this segment of Newborn Awakening, the Born aspect, and I'm wrapping it up now to begin the next stages. Thank you for viewing, and check out the Awake part for the results in this segment. All right, until then, take care. Peace out.